I've been very fortunate to have had mentors and had people in my life who've, I like to say, saw me before I saw myself.
Mm-hmm.
They were able to see something in me and they wanted to make sure that I saw it as well. And, you know, they come in, I've had, you know, my dissertation, someone in my dissertation um, committee was my first boss who pushed me to the forefront and said, "You're going to do this." And I wanted to retreat, and she pushed me. And I've worked with just amazing people, thinking about my time at Emory Healthcare as well. Um, I strongly believe that early exposure often to opportunities that will help young women of color see their future selves is key. Um, my first day onboarding at Watt Healthcare, I was sitting in a training session with a few people, and a young lady who was coming on board as a social worker just kept staring at me and a little uncomfortable. I was like, okay, so what's going on? And she eventually approached me. This is when we had a break, and she said, I'm from this area. I've never seen a black female COO before, and I promise you that as that there was a shift for me after
Mm-hmm.
that interaction, um, and I became more aware of my role, and being an example, and really thinking, wow, I have to present this role very differently, right? I want to do well in my job. I want to do well for the organization, and do well by the legacy of Watts Healthcare, but also realize that people are staring at you and
Mm-hmm.
staring at you for the reasons that this girl mentioned. I've had several comments even after that where people have shared similar sentiments with me. Um, so being very aware, I know that people say be yourself. Yeah, you be yourself, but you also have to realize that people are looking up to you as an example. And I think that's been very important for me to um, has been very important to me, especially since that day. Some people might see the value in it, some people may not. I share stories where I can. I make sure that I'm speaking to young
Mm-hmm.
women of color as well when I meet them. I'm sharing. I've been able to share opportunities and stories about my background with others and my trajectory with other people, and I'm a huge advocate for that. I think
Mm-hmm.
that if people are able to see more of what they their future selves could look like, I think it's easier for them to navigate the spaces they're in, and probably navigate a path. And I want to
I'll
make
add on
sure
to
that I'm
what you just
part of
said. You
that.
said when you see young women, right,
Mm.
you pour into them in a sense. So for
Mm-hmm.
girls that are watching this, what's the story you wish someone had told you about black women in leadership that you can share with those young leaders, especially women leaders that are wanting to get into this space, but also may have a little bit of fear?
Oh yeah. Um, lead with knowledge. Lead with knowledge. Um, you know, I, I always make sure this is just part of what I do, but as best practice for myself and my work. But it's very important. Lead with knowledge. You have nothing can be used against you if you're able to lead with the knowledge that of your work
Mm-hmm.
and the knowledge that you deserve to be in the space. If you're in the space, you deserve to be in it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, you're always going to have naysayers. I'll give an example. I remember early in my career, I had a presentation at a university, very, very early in my career. Um, and I was nervous, but, I knew my work and I knew that what I had to share was important. So I was fine. And I was being introduced a few minutes before I was supposed to speak. I was being introduced to some of the faculty. And everyone's kind of looking forward to me speaking and what I had to say. And one person said, "Oh, you're young. Oh, you look young. What do you have to share?" You know, it's like
Yeah, already
very
brushed you
matter of
off.
fact. Like
Yeah, yeah.
I have like 30 years on you. What are you going to tell me? And I walked up a few minutes before I started to speak, and it did affect me because I
Yeah.
fumbled a bit. um, and I guess what I want to tell, young black women and just young women really, um, who has, who have a purpose and a goal, and who are able to identify that, is you will have naysayers along your journey. It's going to be that person that makes a flippant comment. It's the person that has judged you as you walk into the room, or the person who has assumed they know you as you walk into the room. You're going to have that. That comes with the territory. You lead with knowledge. You're anchoring in the confidence that you have a goal that is bigger than the space you're in right now, and that needs to be your North Star.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely for me personally, my faith has been, a big part of just my journey, and being able to just entrust, that purpose and mission, to God, and letting Him lead is important. Um, Leading with knowledge.
Yeah.
You be the best in your area. Strive to be the
Yeah.
best in your area. Strive towards being the best in your area, and allow people to see that. Lead with that.